morning, ladies and gentlemen. Off-Work Sports. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and share button on your icon on the screen. And we're taking a look at the Portland Trailblazers out west. This is the season preview, review, and where I think they'll be. A look at their roster, where I think they're headed, and the moves they possibly need to make. Obviously, it's real early in the game. We're probably going to see more of where this roadmap needs to head in December, January, when these teams get to play a month and a half together. That said, the Blazers, I want to start off once again with the guys that are in charge, the vets that they need to make things happen. It's the same players, been the same players for years. It all starts with Dame Lillard and C.J. McCollum. These two have been the animals, or the freak show, as I call it, in a good way, that have made the Portland Trailblazers tick. These guys have to be consistently averaging between the 18 to 25 point range in order for this team to win. Have things changed a little bit this year? I'm going to tell you, hell yes. They've added on some nice pieces to the front court, and they've had some good draft picks, as well as they've added another shooter that can give them possibly 18 to 20 points a game if they need it, because he won't have enough touches to be able to do that. Let's get into the work. So Damian comes back, CJ comes back. Preseason is all about gelling. There's a couple new faces I want to get into in a second, but again, we know what they need to do. Let's get into the new faces and some of the X factors that's going to make this thing special, okay? If you're looking at this lineup, I focused in on Joseph Nurkic, who had an exceptional season last year, then was hit with a bad buck of a leg injury that took him out for the season. The Blazers did not wait on development. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? Jack Collins was a guy that was moving up, even though he's a thinner frame, possibly being a member of this team that could possibly fill that center slot. But no, they said, let's not sleep. They went and grabbed Paul Gasol. I don't know if he's going to make the team. And then a draft pick that I loved out of UCLA, Moses Brown, all right? So these guys are more than likely not going to be contributors to this Blazers team. However, there is a guy I'm going to mention. There's another 7-footer. So what do you got? 1, 2, 3. 3 7-footers plus Nurkic. You want one more? You talk about length? Hassan Whiteside was signed in the summertime from the Miami Heat. Comes over 3 years ago, was thought to be one of the best centers in the NBA. Really fell off a cliff in Miami. Offensive change. I don't know if he got paid, the get paid bug and people just die off. It's hard to work out when you got that big contract coming guaranteed. But Hassan Whiteside comes to the Blazers in a time that I don't think they really needed another big man. But they said, let's try to get better and have another option, another weapon that's going to be a go-to inside. I don't know if Nurkic was that. I would say he was that last year up until that point, but previous years, he was still growing into himself. Therefore, Hassan Whiteside is now come in to fill in that role with that big contract as a new go-to inside, and they're going to him in the preseason, as you can see it. I think it's hurting their flow a little bit, but that's going to happen. So that is the big three now, Whiteside, McCollum, and Damian Lillard. And now I want to jump to the X Factor, as I mentioned. You add on that piece, but then you add on, hey, you want some more shooting, you want some more scoring. Kent Bazemore is added over, 6'5" out of the Atlanta Hawks, tremendous seasons. He's a bona fide scorer. He can do all things. This is a great pickup for this team. I really like what he can bring to the table. At 6'5", the potential to average 18 to 22 a game if he was on a lower tier team in the main option is exciting. So he'll probably get 12 or 13 on this team, if that, but that's going to be good enough. Shoot a high percentage, play defense, and another option they have. It doesn't stop there. The player that they added in the summertime from the Cleveland Cavaliers was Rodney Hood. He is also paying dividends right now. So again, very strong lineup. It's all about the gel. Rodney Hood had a tremendous season on the Utah Jazz. Went over to the Cavs, was okay, showed some flashes, wanted to be the main man, comes over to the Blazers, and I think the moves that they made in the summer, moving Aminu, was because of Rodney Hood, because he's so diversified, he's athletic, he's another 18 to 22 point scorer. Now, if you think I'm going to stop there, I'm not. Not only did they add Kent Bazemore, not only did they add Rodney Hood, they added a guy who I was falling in love with last year with the New York Knicks when he was playing the guard position, Mario Hezonja. I would call him the Zion Williamson of Europe at some point. He was supposed to be the most talented guard to ever come out of Europe. I've seen flashes. I like his athleticism. I like where his brain was going last year when he was dribbling, had the ball in his hands. What can he do with this team? He's going to get minutes. I'm not going to say high minutes, not enough to showcase maybe being an all-star. But does he get enough minutes to possibly be a reserve six-man? I think he'll get 10 minutes a night, 10 to 15 minutes a night. I think he may be able to sneak that in. And the guy that I'm going to mention next is going to have to sit a little bit and head to the G League. But Mario Hezonja could be another big addition, possibly a backup to Rodney Hood or Kent Bazemore off the bench. He gets those minutes. It's going to be meaningful. Really like what they're doing here. Strong. Not superstar, but very strong lineup for Portland Trailblazers. There's no reason why they shouldn't be able to get out of the first round without a problem with this lineup. Nasir Little's the next guy. Draft pick out of North Carolina. He has to find a position. Looks like he's dribbling more. I've seen him dribble quite a bit. He has enough for me that I see he can progress into a small forward. There's no doubt about it. Nasir Little has the athleticism to be able to transition to a small forward, power forward, a la Mike Beasley at 6'6", has long arms, though. I think he'll have a lot of time in the G League, learning the operations, learning the plays. That's going to be something that's going to be good for him. He'll continue to develop and may come in a play maybe November, December if he progresses fast enough. If he's slower, it'll probably be February, March to a more prominent role as an energy guy off the bench. 8 to 10 minutes of sunshine. Hopefully you get something out of him. Maybe 6 or 7 points would be enough. 4 rebounds, that type of deal. Nasir Little was a great pickup for this team. A big X factor. Never know what he can become. Talent-wise, because of his age, he may show more talent or upside than Hezonja or Hood, but I'm older, so I remember when those guys were young. So I still think of these Hezonja and Hood as very young guys. Actually, let me just go check real quick. Let me cheat the system. How old is? Only 24 years old. Jesus Christ. Guys, I mean, they have a slew of talent here. And again, how old is Ronnie Hood? 26 years old. So Hood is the old man of the group. Hezonja still has some age left that you can work with him. He's going to start hitting his prime at 26, where Hood is at. Be interesting to see where they go. A lot of young talent. Now we go into the backup guard situation, and there is a superstar. No, let me stop. Let me pull back. There is a borderline all-star sitting on the bench out of Florida, Anthony Simons. I've been watching him for a while. I loved him as a draft pick. He's been improving constantly every year. Great jump shot. I love this kid. I think he's something special. He's going to have another year of tutelage underneath CJ and Damian. I think he'll get more minutes this year. I'm seeing it. 18, this 19 minutes could be 6th man of the year candidate and an MIP candidate. There are big expectations for Anthony Simons. As you look at this lineup, you're starting to see that they're pretty deadly in all facets of the game. Their front line to me is much stronger than the Denver Nuggets. Okay, their front line is also stronger than the LA Lakers. Again, point guard line. Okay, from point guard and shooting guard perspective, I like what I see out of the Blazers. They probably have the strongest guard bunch out of the crew of West Coast teams. I'm trying to think of anyone else. Oh, I'm lying. Obviously Houston. Houston's probably going to top these guys, but then after Houston, it's probably going to be these Blazers unless I go through another team and renege. That said, I love what I see out of this team and the packages they can put together. They then add in a solid backup point guard. Don't sleep on the guy. He's very efficient. I remember him out of Virginia. My man, London Parentis. Will he get burned? Efficient, solid, low turnover ratio, 5-6 minutes a game, breather games. I wouldn't mind throwing London in there. He's been sticking with teams, played on the Cavs, made his way through the hard way. I think he's something that can be a great backup point guard, solid, doesn't do anything that gets you in trouble, and I can respect it. Another guy that's just going to be on a come up, Gary Trent Jr. Let's see his progression out of Duke. Can he become something different? I don't know. 8th, 9th man, yes. Will he get minutes, 5 to 6 minutes a game? Maybe. They're guard heavy right now, so it's going to be tough for him to sneak in there. However, there's opportunity. There's always opportunity. And when he does, he's going to have to show himself. I think he should really focus on his 3-point shot. If he can be a knockdown 3-point shooter along with Simons, they'll be able to solidify their whole lineup and have, hey, lo and behold, folks, Blazers may be your West Coast champions. Yes, sir. I said it here first on Off War Sports. This team is poised. They have all the weapons that they need. If you want to go blow for blow, I'm going to give you a little something. JaVale McGee, a broken down Dwight Howard, who I don't know if ever will come back to his old form. He's too old, right? He's older. Nurkic and Hassan Whiteside are more than enough to be able to contend with an older Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee. Matter of fact, better than. All right, and then you add on a guy who's probably going to be in G League is Moses Brown, but he's exciting. He's long. I think he's going to be able to great shot blocker and a movement player in Zach Collins that can stretch the floor. Very scary for any team to be wanting to face the Blazers. Does Paul Gasol, I don't think, is he 40? Does he have anything left in the tank? If he does, 39 years old, if he does, that's even scarier. 4 to 5 minutes a game, giving you something, that's crazy. That's good enough for me. One guy that I want everyone not to forget is this man, Anthony Tolliver, a stretch four, who's definitely going to be a man that's shooting the lights out for you on this Trailblazers team. He, again, preseason, 16 minutes a game, 2-point. The big thing about him is going to have to improve on that 3-point shooting, right? Only have 14% in the summer. He's going to have to get better. His career stat line is 37%. That's why they brought him in. He can stretch the floor real well. A solid contributor with low minute play. I can dig that. I don't think he'll get 20 minutes per game on this team. He's another guy that may get 8 or 9 minutes, and he may be good with that at the low age of 34 years old when that body starts to break down. In all, the Blazers, I don't want to rank I want to say number one, number two, I will, however, say they are a top 4 team in the West Coast. Without a doubt, Denver Nuggets are there. Portland Trailblazers are there. You obviously know the other two. I won't get into it. I'll say it later. But this is a strong team with a strong lineup. I don't know much else they can improve on other than getting a superstar on this roster, and they would have to load up and trade a bunch of folks. And I don't know if it'll be worth it. I think as they are, they're very strong. I would add on some more, talent. Jalen Horace there. Troy Kilpain came over from the Orlando Magic. There's a couple of slots where I say, add a little bit more weight as a just in case for injury. Let's see the progression of Scala, BCA. It's going to be a solid, only 23 years old. Shoot. Wow, that's why they kept him. So he's still a young buck here, right? Technically senior year in college or going for his master's. Not bad. Had 20 minutes per game, 7 points, strong rebounding. Yeah, he's going to be another guy at the power forward slot. He expanded his range a bit. Maybe he can come through and show what he was supposed to. He was number one ranked power forward coming out in high school way back in the day. If anyone remembers that, I love this team, and I think that the guy who coordinated the trade efforts and movements, player movement, should be commended. He's put a strong team together. If they can get Joseph Nurkic back to at least 85% of his form at the tender age of 25 years old, again, you got to give him time for that leg injury. I'm excited. And I think it's going to be an expendable time where we're seeing this team really grow into something special, and they have all the pieces to do that. Off Work Sports, I'm signing off. Peace.